Hi guys and welcome back to my channel, and today's video has been so highly requested ever since I put on Instagram that Heidi has been sleeping through the night since she was about 5 weeks old. She's now going to be 8 weeks old on Friday, so I thought it was a perfect time to film this video because since the routine she's been consistently sleeping through the night, so it wasn't like a fluke for 2 nights and then she didn't do it for a week or anything like that. She has consistently been sleeping through the night. Apologies if you can hear her vibrating chair. She's just in her bouncer at the moment playing with some stars. It's really cute because she's beginning to actually interact with things like that, which I absolutely love. This is also the second time I filmed this video because the first time I literally filmed it, edited it, exported it, uploaded it, everything, scheduled it in YouTube. I then went to bed, and then the next day I always like rewatch the videos just to make sure that the lighting's okay, especially as I've got a new camera, and it made no sense even to me, and I'm like the person whose routine it is. So anyway, I'm doing it again, but I just did want to share with you the routine that we have that made her and has kept her sleeping throughout the night. There is nothing worse than those first few weeks not getting any sleep. Like, I know everyone tells you catch up on sleep or you're gonna miss your sleep and stuff. Like, I got it, but oh my god, nobody tells you how much of a zombie. And I don't know how we did it. Like, looking back, I just think, how on earth did we run on like 2 hours sleep and then up for like 2 hours and back to sleep? It was ridiculous. But hopefully this like routine helps. Obviously no 2 days are exactly the same, so I am just trying to like tell you how I do it in terms of blocks of time, but obviously this can be flexible to what works with you. And but yeah, hopefully what we have done and the routine that we've had pretty much from the start, as much as we can do, hopefully it helps you guys if you're looking for help or to initiate a routine to encourage your one to sleep throughout the night. So without further ado, let's get into it. So for the sake of this video, I am gonna say it as if she wakes up at 6 AM. Sometimes it can be between 6 and 7. Actually at the moment she is beginning to wake up more around 7, but for the sake of like just speaking about it, I will say that she's woken up at 6 because especially at the beginning that's when she would sleep until, which was amazing because we'd get her down at about, probably actually physically in the Moses basket asleep at about 10, so that is a solid night's sleep, which again is amazing. So when she wakes up at like 6, we always let her tell us when she wants to wake up. That is normally in the act of kind of a cry. She'll stir, you'll know when she's about to wake up. When it's your baby, you will recognize those signs. So around 6 o'clock we feed her, we bring her downstairs, we'll obviously change her, all those good things, and we make sure to like speak to her a lot. And especially when she first like slept through the night at the beginning, I was like, oh my god, well done, lots of kisses, lots of cuddles. So she knows that it is like the best thing because I was so happy. I just couldn't stop like cuddling her and kissing her and telling her how good she was. So at 6 o'clock I begin feeding. Once I start feeding her at 6, she never ever finishes that bottle. Averagely she's been drinking about 5 ounces a time, but it does kind of differ in every feed, and this feed is usually where she'll drink less than average. I'm not too sure why, but that's just always kind of been it ever since she was born really. She never had that much at her first feed of the day. But she is often still quite sleepy. Obviously she's just woken up. She is in this bit of a haze, whether you don't know whether she's coming or going. She often is kind of sat there a bit like squinty eyed, but that doesn't really matter. So it is common for her to fall back asleep after she has been fed, and that's quite nice for me because I can have breakfast or get ready for the day or whatever I kind of want to do to start off my day, and that's been a blessing as well because again at the beginning you just don't have time to like get yourself breakfast or get yourself ready, so just to have that time is really nice for me. But then that doesn't always happen, so if she doesn't sleep then, her next feed will be in the time slot of, well, it'll be at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then that will lead us to 12 midday. So if she has slept between the 6 and 9 time frame, then she's less likely to actually sleep between the 9 and 12, just because it does differ daily. So what I would say is that it would typically be better for her to be awake between the 9 and 12 stage, or part of the day. Obviously with newborns, they hugely decide when they sleep and wake up. Often it's very hard to get an awake baby asleep and a asleep baby awake. But again, by sticking to this routine, she has kind of figured out when we want her to be asleep and awake, which is amazing. So it definitely is better for her to be awake between 9 and 12, but as long as you get like a 50-50 ratio between really 6 to 12 of her being awake and asleep, then the rest of the day's routine will be so much easier. I thought I'd just grab her because she's having a fussy 5 minutes, aren't you? So her next feed is usually 12 midday, and then that will obviously lead you on to the next feed, which will be 3 o'clock. So I do feed her every 3 hours. From midday until 3 o'clock, Heidi is normally awake, which is really ideal for this routine to work. That's why she's awake now, because we are, what's it now? It's like 1:30. So that's absolutely fine, and it does mean that this routine is going to continue working, but it is consistent that between this time she is usually awake. And for this routine to work, you do ideally want your baby to be awake during this time, just to make the evening a little bit easier for you, because having them awake will then help settle them to sleep and then wake up again as per the routine, which I'll go into. But obviously no 2 days are the same, so it's really hard. If you're going out for the day, you don't want to like stay in because you need your baby to be awake. But again, this is quite a light routine that we like to stick to, but it did make those early days when she wasn't sleeping through a lot easier, and then she began to sleep through really quickly. So it does definitely work. And to do that, you know, you can do anything that stimulates your baby. You can do some like playtime, you can encourage them to do a bit of tummy time, put them in rockers and have toys. It's completely what's best for you, obviously where you are, circumstances and stuff like that. Now the next time that we'll feed her is at 3 o'clock, and then you definitely want them to have a solid nap after that feed. So this is really essential to maximise the routine and make it really work, especially in those early days. You want her to have a nap after the 3 o'clock feed. So the amount is normally determined by them, but you want them to get like a solid at least 1 or 2 hours ideally. Again, babies make up their own rules, so your baby might not be the same as Heidi, but she does like to sleep for probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours during that time frame, which is obviously lovely for me because I can get stuff done, I can edit videos, you know, whatever it might be. But if you're consistent with that, then it's quite nice as it ties into a good nap time, and it's, you know, quite good if you want to start getting stuff ready or do some cleaning or even just have a nap. It's up to you. Then we get to the 6 o'clock feed, and now with this feed you want to give them slightly less milk than what they're used to, or what they're averagely taking a feed. So we do give her slightly less, and that's because we want her to want more for her last one. I don't give her too much less, but instead of 5 ounces she'll probably have like 4, or 3.5 sometimes as well. Like she gets used to having less during that feed as well, but you definitely want to give them a little bit less, just because you want them to be content, but you don't want them to fall asleep because they're still hungry. So this is really the next essential time, is the 6 to 9 period, and you want them to be awake as much as humanly possible. So we give her her last feed at 9 PM, don't we, Bubba? So between 9 and 6 you want to keep them up as much as possible, because we give her her last feed at 9 PM, and you want to make sure that she is in the position to actually be put down for the night. So to do that we drain you as much as possible, don't we, Bubba? We have lots of playtime. We do lots of sensory activities. We really want to get her brain going, and we want her to get really excited and really, really energized. So we want her to be as active as possible, lots of tummy time, you know, getting like lights out, just making it as fun as possible for them, because that's just really essential in getting their brain all wired up and just using the energy that they've gathered from their previous nap. So this is really, really, really essential. If you don't do anything else, definitely do a bit of playtime like mid-afternoon / evening time to help drain their energy, because that's what's going to really help them just sleep throughout the whole night. So babies work on a 20-minute play, rest, play schedule. So do bear that in mind. And they do usually get a little bit sleepy after a little bit of playtime. But kind of let them not rest, but do lighter activities. And then again, for 20 minutes, do high energy activities, make it really visual for them, give them lots to concentrate on and get their brain really going. We do lots of different sensory activities. That I actually do a baby sensory class, so we learn a lot in that class on how to keep babies awake and to keep them engaged, and it's really good as well because you're helping to build those brain connections, and it's good for their development, whether that be motor skills, visual skills, anything like that. You can get lots of fun songs to play along with. There's so many like great even free resources that you can find out when you want to do more baby sensory stuff, so definitely have a little research, find what works best for you. But Heidi does love like light and sound and lots of like visual stuff, so we do make the environment really fun for her. So you want to mix this up on a daily basis so they don't get bored obviously, and you want them to keep excited, because if you do the same thing, then like us, you'll just get a little bit bored of doing it. But make it quite familiar. So you want to have similar sounds and lights and toys, but you want to do things slightly differently, don't you? That's your favourite time of the day, isn't it? So we'll do that for about an hour or two, depending on how much energy she gathered from that nap. Sometimes she just can't be bothered, and sometimes she is literally all wired up. So I just judge it by how she's reacting to playtime. And then once you've had some playtime, you can consider giving your baby a bath and start initiating quiet time. So something like a bath before bed is obviously, you want to wash your newborns. You don't have to do this every night, it's up to you. It depends on how often you obviously want to wash your newborns, but it's your preference. But start doing stuff like that and make it really relaxing and make the environment really relaxing for them. So I start with giving her a bath, so she'll have a little bath. We get some fresh clothes on, make sure that they're quite nice and snug and warm, especially as it's been like really cold lately. We just make sure that they go on the radiator a little bit before, just so that they're not cold to the skin for her, because otherwise she gets really uncomfortable and cold. So that then leads us on to the 9 p.m. feed, and as I mentioned, that is her final feed of the day, which is lovely for me. We eventually want to get it to around 8 o'clock, but at the moment this routine is working really well for us. So what's not broken, don't fix it. When she gets a little bit older, then we can start initiating more like proper nap times in the day. But at the moment, kind of working on that 50-50 balance of a morning and then having the solid nap between 3 and 6. Just works for us at the moment. So you want to make the environment really relaxing for their final feed, and you want them to associate the fact that this is their final feed and that they're not going to get another one throughout the night. So we start off by putting on a light projector that just projects loads of nice stars. So we have the living room lights off, we have the star projector on, so she focuses on that. It's quite like it obviously is light because we're feeding her and we're able to see everything, but it is nice and it gives her something to focus on while she is feeding. Other things you can do is like put lullabies on and just make it really calm and relaxing, but make it familiar. Again, repeat this pretty much every night when you want to feed them, because you want that association. You want them to know this is the last you're getting for today. So you just want to make it really familiar, and just the more that they can focus on things, or the more that they associate that, it's just better in the long run. And then with this feed, we make sure we put more milk in than what she averagely has. So where we gave her slightly less the last feed, she'll not be like hungry, but she'll definitely want a little bit more. So we give her more than average, and again, this helps set her out for the night. So this is again really essential for us. So as I mentioned, she does normally have like 5 ounces, but in this bottle we normally put 8 in. I think only once or twice has she finished actually that 8 ounces, but she definitely drinks more than average on this feed. So we're averaging about 6.5 to 7. We start feeding her at 9, and we're usually in bed, or actually physically in the Moses basket, about 10:30, 11 at the latest. So it does take her a little while, but she's actually beginning to get shorter and shorter with that last feed. So I'm hoping that it's just more her getting used to it, and then in a few weeks time it will take a little bit less to actually finish that off. So once she's in the Moses basket or crib or cot or however you're actually physically putting your baby down for the night, we play white noise, and we actually use an Amazon Echo, and we just tell it to play white noise and it automatically turns off after an hour, which is amazing if you have one. It's a really good little trick. She really likes the association with that. We have like white noise machines and like light projector machines and stuff, but they are in her room when she transitions from our bedroom to her room, because we want to make that a slightly new environment for her. But yeah, if you have an Amazon Echo, you can ask it to actually play white noise and it does for an hour, which is really cool. You also want to make sure that the room is completely blackout. We have blackout blinds, which is really good. Rich works nights, so he sleeps in the day. So for us, it's essential to have a blackout bedroom. And then you can also start reading them a book if you start doing that. We are going to wait until she's a few weeks older to start reading to her. I know that it's beneficial from this young age, but normally by the time we put her in her Moses basket, she is completely soundo, aren't you? Aren't you, Papa? But if that works for you, you can definitely consider doing it. Oi. But that's basically the routine. It's just broken it down and just knowing when you want your baby to sleep within the day, and getting a solid nap and then doing the play and stuff like that. It's just worked really well for us. So I hope this video has been helpful for anyone with newborns, because trying to find a routine is really, really helpful. It's just something that's worked really well for us, and Heidi has stuck to it really, really well. So it's something we're going to continue using until she gets a little bit older, where we obviously want the bedtime to be a lot earlier. But for now it works so much better, and it means that we're getting actual sleep. So I'm going to wrap up this video because this one is getting a little bit restless. It's because it's like 2 o'clock. And you're about an hour away from your nap, aren't you? I better sign off now because this one is getting a little bit moany, aren't you? But I hope this video has been helpful for you. Give it a thumbs up if it has, and let me know any sleeping tips that you have in the comments below. Hopefully you can help any other mums that are looking for sleeping tips, because those first few weeks are a killer. But now we've got a bit of a routine. It seems so distant, and now she's like going to be 8 weeks old on Friday. I feel like I've slept really well for the past few weeks, which is amazing. And yeah, we've got quite used to it, which makes me dread her teething even more. But I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But yeah, I hope this has been helpful for you. Don't forget to subscribe if you like mummy style videos. And let me know down below if there's any other videos that you'd like me to film. And other than that, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.